Okay, we're back in the classroom, and for the grade 8s, you're going to be doing something that's a little bit different. You know, we've been spending so much time with numeracy to start off the year, and in a way, we're going to do the very same thing, but it's going to seem a little bit like a mixture between numeracy and geometry, because in a way, that's what it is. To start off, we're going to start taking a look at the relationships due to pi. Now, you know what pi is. It's 3.1416, and goes on and on and on. But we're going to look at why pi is such an important number and how to use it. So bear with me if you already understand some of these things. I have an assignment for you to do tonight, and then you've got additional stuff to do in class tomorrow. This is to get you into the spirit to do the work tomorrow, okay? So let's go through this. Let's give you an idea of exactly what it's all about. Okay, let's take a look at what pi really means and what it means to a circle, okay? So let's start off with a circle is a set of all points in a plane that are an equal distance from a given point to the center of the circle. I know, it sounds like a really complicated idea, but let's just make a circle here to sort of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. If we take our compass here and we draw a circle, okay, and we assume that right there, okay, let me get a pen out here so I can show you what I'm talking about. Right here is the center of the circle, and we'll select and we'll move this way. Okay, so all the points around this circle are an equal distance from the center of the circle, the given point. Okay, so that's why they call this a circle. It means that all the spots around that center point are exactly equal, no matter where you may go along this plane. Okay, now a diameter is a segment that passes through the center of the circle and endpoints on the circle. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, here, if we take a line and we draw it from here, make it go directly through the center and then to the other side, that's the diameter, okay? Now, usually that's denominated by a small d, all right? So we've got the circle, we've got the diameter. A radius is a segment whose endpoints are the center of the circle, so right there, and a point on the circle. So if we start to here and we go to here, that's a radius. With me so far, okay? So circle, diameter, and radius. And the circumference is the complete distance around the circle. Now the question has always been, is there a way that we could figure out any of these segments or measurements without having to actually sit there with a piece of string and go all the way around the circle or get out a ruler or something to figure it out, as long as you knew some of the information to begin with? Well, there is. And in order to figure that out, all you have to do is look at the relationship to pi. All right? So to do that, we're going to go to the next page. What pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter. All right? The ratio of the circumference to the diameter. And it's expressed as a whole number and a decimal. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at this. Circle 1 has a circumference of 37.68. Doesn't matter if it's inches, feet, centimeters, decameters, or anything. That's 37.68. And a diameter of 12. If you put the circumference on top here and put it on below, in other words, if you took 37.68 and divided it by 12, what would you get? Do it. Okay, figure it out. I hope you have a calculator nearby. I hope you have it with you. But if you don't, try to do it on paper. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Maybe not this much time. Hurry up. You need to get it done. Okay, if you did it, and even if you didn't, okay, if you didn't, you would have found out that circumference divided by diameter is equal to 3.14. Okay. But is that always the case? Well, let's look at the next one, number 2. 31.4 and a diameter of 10. Well, it's pretty obvious then, right? All you have to do is move the decimal point 1 to the left. 31.4 divided by 10 is 3.14. Well, that's obvious. Okay, but some of these other ones get a little more difficult. 25.12 divided by 8. Well, that's 3.14. And 56 divided, well, hang on a second. This is becoming kind of obvious. I wonder if I don't even have a calculator here to show you, but you know, if we go through all of them, it comes 3.14. So what that must mean is that there's a relationship between the circumference and the diameter of a particular piece of work, okay? That if I take the circumference and divide it by the diameter, I'm going to come up with 3.14 all the time. So if I know the diameter is 12, and I multiply it by 3.14, I should get the circumference. If I know what the circumference is and I divided it by 3.14, I should get the diameter. It makes sense. You can play around with the operation to get the answer you're looking for. Okay, so the circumference to the diameter is a ratio of 3.14. We've got it. Okay, so what I want you to do to start out with is try to figure out, if you have the diameter, what is the circumference? And if you have the circumference, what is the diameter? Shouldn't be that difficult, right? It's pretty clear pretty clear from the very beginning. And to remember that the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter is the same for every circle. So that the symbol pi represents this ratio. Okay. Now, you will find a page of work to do in the homework section just for grade 8s. That's for you to do. Make sure it's done and come into class with it done, along with this particular graph. Okay? Have it done. Show it to me. We'll talk about it on